Hey Aquarius. Them emotions heating up, ain't they? You feeling some feels, huh? I bet. This is the start of Pluto in your sign. Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. You gonna be feeling your feelings in a way you ain't never felt feelings before. And it will be uncomfortable at first. And then I feel like if you allow it, it can be quite fucking delightful. To get to experience the full spectrum of human emotions at the deepest level possible, it's a fucking honor. And so the rest of the zodiac welcomes you, you know? You guys have been able to access that detachment for quite some time. No mas. What's up, Aquarius? It's your girl Jay, the High Priestess, back at it again with the general tarot reading for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season 2025. Y'all, it took me so long to get through Pisces season. I'm not surprised. It's Pisces season. But, like, I was a little disappointed with myself, if I'm being honest. But it comes when it comes. And you gotta honor when it comes and feel your feelings and let yourself be in the flow. And I think that's the most important thing, especially that's my advice for you guys who are deep in your feelings, deep in realization, deep in the ordeals that are going to initiate profound transformation in your life. It's a thing. Hydrate, light it if you need it. As we clear out any of that funky energy. Welcome in my benevolent ancestors, Mother God, Father God, Mother Earth. Thanking you for the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season 2025. Oh, I didn't do the normal things that I do before I start a reading, so I feel a little off, and I think that's just actually your energy. You just may be feeling a little off. But as long as you're feeling, that's what matters most. As long as you're not trying to slather every fucking idea and experience with logic and over explain yourself and try to, or overthink everything, over explain everything. It takes the magic out of shit. Just feel, just be in it. Choose to feel. I just saw two even. Twos are choices. Choose to feel. That's the only, you don't have a choice anyway, so you might as well voluntarily lean into what's going on and voluntarily lean into the process versus being dragged into it so begrudgingly. It just is gonna siphon so much more energy from you if you fight it. Don't fight the transformation. The universe is handing your ass to you for a very specific reason, you know? And this is a general reading. Eat the meat, leave the bones. You know, I feel like a lot of you are getting your ass handed to you in very different ways. Some of you it's professionally. Some of you it is romantically. Some of you it's this like deep interpersonal. Who am I? What do I stand for? What, you know, all of that. For some of you it's with your friends. Like, it's going to hit different for everybody. But let it hit is my point. All right. You know when you're ready for Aquarius. It's like All I want is a swords card to show. Why is that so hard? It's like every other card will show multiple times. But why? Like I just saw the tower reverse like 7 times. Come the fuck on. Give me a sword card. Just let me know you're ready. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk shit. I'm serious. I keep seeing the same cards. Wow. It's like all the, literally, where are all the swords cards? The 10 of swords. That'll do. That'll do. All right. There we go. Okay, the 9 of swords. Okay. Welcoming in the most useful, helpful, and divinely aligned messages for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season 2025. I feel like in a little bit you'll be so glad it's over. Whenever whatever it is, whatever the obstacle is, like you're about to be so glad you did it. It's like just do it. You'll be so glad when it's over. You'll be so proud of yourself. You'll be so happy. You'll be so relieved. Breathe. Okay. Knight of Cups reversed. Some of you may be going through a breakup. Some of you, are struggling to get out of the talking stage with somebody. It's kind of giving always a bridesmaid, never a bride kind of thing. Always a child bridesmaid and never a child bride. Like there's something there, like. And honestly, this isn't for all of you because some of you are in very stable relationships. But there could just be something about your relationship to romance. First thing to be clarified on the selenite throne is like how you go about romance, your concept of it, how you expressed those ooey gooey feelings. I just saw 555 on the clock, especially after conflict or when you're in the midst of conflict. Do you know how to make up? Do you know how? And this isn't just like romantic relationships. This is in platonic situations. This can be professional as well. Like when you fuck up or when another person fucks up, do you know how to like mend? Do you know how to like initiate the making up or initiate the healing process? That could be like working on that. Also, I say a lot of you, but flip it. There may be you or someone else around you. They may have Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements, but there could be some stuff with like champagne taste on a beer budget. You finally realizing this person is actually a knight, not a king or a queen. This person is still in the beginning phases of something, or damn, maybe I'm not ready to pursue this, or I'm not up to snuff enough. There could be lots of self-doubt. There could be someone like feeling like someone is taking their love back from you or taking their affection back, or you are doing that to someone. But I feel like what really needs to be clarified is how you operate within romantic love. Venus in Aquarius and just Aquarius suns, Aquarius risings. No, not more so much Aquarius rising. I'll say people with Venus in Aquarius and Aquarian suns. Y'all are very stereotypically known for like being and it depends on the rest of your chart, but I'm just talking about stereotypes. Like Venus in Aquarius is the number one thing, like placement for polyamory or open relationships. Like it's you guys can be very emotionally detached. Aquarius suns, y'all aren't known for being like super duper romantic. It of course depends on the rest of your chart, but it's almost like there's so much thought behind your romance. There's so much thought behind your pursuit. There's such a cerebral flair or a cerebral flavor to your particular taste in romance. You guys can often be very demisexual or can require lots of emotional intelligence or lots of emotional depth before like letting someone in. With the Knight of Cups reversed, there could just be like feeling like you're going backwards emotionally or spiritually. There could be an outpouring of emotion. There may be somebody with Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio placements who has like spilled their feelings or is about to spill their feelings. Strength reversed. Is my deck upright? Yeah. And some of y'all may be just freaking the fuck out about it. The World reversed on the bottom of the deck. That's y'all's card. The Knight of Cups reversed and the Strength reversed. This may involve a father figure. This could be behavior that you observed or that you learned from your father. This may involve somebody with Leo placements. There could be issues with control or feeling like you don't have control of your emotions. You don't. Not with Pluto in your sign for the next 20 years. That emotional control that you had, whoo, flown out the window. One who flew over the cuckoo's nest, whatever. There could just be something like experiencing very raw emotions, displaying very raw emotions. Some of you may be feeling like you're having some kind of emotional breakdown, or you may be feeling really weak, or there could be someone that has you feeling weak, has you feeling like you're out of control or too feral or too primal or just like in this kind of primal place of energy. And there could just be emotional outbursts from you or this other person. There's something about like, oh, I've got to tame myself. You may be thinking that, you may be experiencing or witnessing somebody like reel themselves in or like try to be super control, act normal, like that kind of thing. And that's not going to get you anywhere because that's not authentic. Strength reverse, that's Leo. And there could just be some issues with inauthenticity. Are you being your whole self? You know, with the Leo card coming out, that's your shadow. That's your opposite. And I feel like some of you have been evading your shadow for a very long time. And the fucking beast is ready to break out. The lion in your shadow is ready to roar. And some of you may be very unfamiliar with that sensation. But I feel like you're trying to tame something within you that doesn't want to be tamed. It wants to be released. It wants to be reset. It wants to be experienced. So it's time for you to get way in touch with that raw, uncut, unfiltered version of you. That version of you that you'd prefer other people not see. That version of you that maybe some parent told you was inappropriate. You need to be close with your shadow because you have Hades in your sign. He is the ruler of the underworld. You about to get in the underbelly of your emotions. You know what I mean? And so you need to be like, someone needs to be able to scratch that belly and touch it. You know what I mean? And if other people can't do it, it's probably because you haven't done it. If you're uncomfortable being touched in that vulnerable, in such a vulnerable place, and I'm saying touched like metaphorically, but also maybe that speaks to physicality. There could be issues around intimacy. What are you so afraid of, boo? That's what I really want you to focus on. What are you so afraid of? Why are you afraid to access that raw side of yourself? Why are you afraid of your heart? What about your heart being displayed scares you? What about people knowing your emotions and knowing who you like and knowing what you're into? What about that scares you? Why does it scare you for people? Why does it scare you to display your unapologetic self, your unapologetic raw emotions? I feel like get through it the first couple times and like it'll feel normal, you know, like it's not as scary as you think. Damn, the Seven of Swords reversed at the center of the reading. Okay, that's probably because of some trauma that's happened in the past, or some struggling with envy, struggling with competition, struggling with feeling taken advantage of, a wound that has not been tended to. And Pisces season is gonna bring all that up to the surface. All of my cards are up. So many of my cards are upright, not all of them, but like it's wild that everything is coming up reversed, which just lets me know You may be feeling upside down. You may be feeling like, you know, your world got tipped on its end or something. Like you may be feeling kind of in the hangman energy, which is Pisces energy. And this makes sense. You are being turned around in some sort of way because you need a new vantage point. You need a new perspective. And the divine's like, oh, you're going to be hard headed? Wait for it. All right, got you. Heard. I'm going to go ahead and put you in this position where you're going to be forced to face your indecision. You're going to be forced to like deal with your shady behavior and the shady behavior that you've experienced from other people. There may be somebody with Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius placements that this stems from. This there could be just like feeling like that first time you were taken advantage of. Have you ever recovered from that? That first time that you had your heart broken, did you ever heal that wound fully? The first time you were betrayed, did you actually uproot that fear out of you, uproot that pain out of you? There's so much around like a change in the realm of your mind. I feel like your current thought process, or the thought process that you've had before, your outlook on life that you had before Pluto came in, so before November 2024, I feel like that thought process or that perspective or outlook was stealing from you in some sort of way. And the divine loves you too much to let you stay in that mindset. And so we gonna get this work, period. Final two cards, final two messages, please, for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for Pisces season 2025. I also feel like, what are you tiptoeing into? There could just be something about like your footing. Why do you need to tiptoe into it? Why aren't you able to walk into this thing? Or just observe yourself. Are you tiptoeing around something? Are you walking on eggshells about something? I feel like it's time to look at your internal security system. It's time to observe your defense mechanisms. It's time, like, no more willful blindness, no more putting your emotions on the back burner, no more hyper, you know, like, why don't I want to say like hyper logicizing, no more overthinking is what I'll say. It's just like, not every problem has a solution, and not every problem has a logical solution. Some of you have been in this place of making logical decisions when we're supposed to be making spiritual decisions. And I feel like you're getting ready to learn how to discern the difference. There we go. The Star and the Two of Cups. I love that. With the Five of Swords on the bottom of the deck. And exactly, the Five of Swords reversed. And these five swords that he's holding is indicative of this card. And so there's something here around like a betrayal from the past. And in the Five of Swords, he's holding three swords, which is indicative of the Three of Swords. And so there's Three of Swords is the quintessential heartbreak card, the one with the heart with the three swords in it. Some of you are denying the pain that you caused someone else, and that's why you're stuck. That's not all of you, but some of you are like la 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 about your role in fucking someone's life up, or your role in really fucking with somebody's feelings, or not tending to people's emotions the way that you should, not really being as compassionate as you could have been. And maybe somebody has done this to you now. Maybe some of you have like gotten a little bit of a taste of your own medicine. That's not all of you, but I feel like Pisces season is here to expose the fact that there is still heartbreak, pain, disappointment that's led to a whole bunch of indecision. There's still a conflict in the realm of your mind that needs to be resolved by way of spirit, not more thinking. You need to connect to source, not your reasoning mind, to resolve this. And so the shady behavior within yourself from the past needs to be forgiven, needs to be accepted so it can be forgiven. And the shady behavior of other people needs to be accepted so it can be forgiven. And then you can actually start to heal and get the transparency and intimacy with the God of your understanding that you need so that you can carry on that transparency and intimacy to another person. But it starts with you surrendering. It starts with you putting yourself first, and putting yourself first as in like putting your oxygen mask on first. It's important for you to understand that you are being divinely guided to your healing. I feel like you're being divinely guided to your wishes, but it is, always fucking darkest before dawn. And I feel like this pop of yellow here is very this like Leo energy, which they are the sign of I will. That's your shadow. And you need to apply your willpower into acquainting yourself with your shadow more consistently so that you are able to operate more authentically all the time, you know? And at least improve your situational awareness around when you need to be really real and when you need to, like code switch or, sugarcoat things. Hydrate. No matter how far from your dream you think that you are so much closer than you realize. It just requires a different, it will require an uncomfortable level of intimacy for you. And that's necessary. But don't go hunting that intimacy with another person first. You have to establish that intimacy within yourself, with your higher self, with the God of your understanding, so that you are able to properly like show up for another person. Like the other person can't be your source of the divine. You have to access that energy and that information for yourself first, and then the Two of Cups comes. So I feel like there is lots of like, what the fuck is going on? How did we get here? This kind of looks like those of you who are in a relationship, I feel like you may be in a rough spot in your relationship or in your marriage. There are a dry spell. There could just be, some grudges that need to be released, things that need to be talked about, a lack of intimacy, a lack of romance, a lack of play, possibly. It's time to get in that like fun, loving, kind of like teenager kind of energy. You need to get back in that in your relationship, but you can't do that, I feel like, until you start to really connect more deeply to God, connect more deeply to yourself, connect more deeply to intimacy and vulnerability. I feel like there's something here about really learning how to be vulnerable. But I want you to practice being vulnerable with yourself first before you really dive into just vulnerability with somebody else. Those of you who are single, I feel like you're being asked to figure this out first, and then bam, all of a sudden someone comes in. This could, the Two of Cups is not exclusive to romantic love. It could be, a deep, loving, platonic vibe. It could be familial. It could be, you get along great with your coworkers. You just start to connect more with people, start to connect more with new people. But the thing is the divine wants, funny, the divine, I feel like, is really trying to pour into you and trying to encourage you to pour into other people. But it's like, you can't pour from an empty cup. And so it's your responsibility to tend to the fulfillment of your own cup so you can attract somebody that has done the same level of work. And then we have 1 + 1 = 2. Be sure to go check out that Pisces season astrology video that has all the important astrological dates. I'm very curious about clarifying all these cards, which we're going to do over on Patreon. You like cults, come join my ethical cult over on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. There's all kinds of astrological content. There's a tier for daily readings as well. For free shit, check out my Instasham at JustJ_everything, TikTok at JustJEverything, and for other dope shit that I do, my website, JustJEverything.com. At my website, you can also book a personal reading with me should you want. Let me zoom out a little bit. 2 major arcana, which is your axis. Your axis Leo and Aquarius. What I say, you got to get in touch with your shadow. Strength card came out first. So you get in touch with your shadow, and then all of a sudden you start shining at a different level than you ever have been before. Interesting. For the Seven of Swords to be at reversed, to be at the center of the reading, I feel like a lot of you have been tiptoeing around vulnerability, tiptoeing around dealing with previous wounds and betrayals and heartbreaks, and it's time to stop that. The star wants to bring in healing, wants to bring in connection, wants to allow you, wants to encourage you to surrender so you can be guided. And then you get to have that like, oh my God, the universe loves me so much. I can't believe I got to have this experience because you didn't fucking try to over rationalize everything, you know? And so I feel like you're being guided to this new version of yourself, and this new version of yourself is hella open, hell, like down to entwine with somebody else, down to connect. But you got to deal with that previous pain. I'm going to show you a little bit of the plunge. You got to deal with a little bit of that previous pain in the way that the past rocked your ass. Like some of you, like the rug got slipped out from under you. And you have to deal with, for some of you, this is the past. But for some of you, this is fairly recent, or this is something that you have recently gone through. And it may, there are 2 betrayal cards are out. And so this could be struggling with envies, dealing with betrayal, dealing with loss, people who have walked away, people you should have walked away from but didn't, things like that. I just feel like there's this conflict in the realm of your mind that wants to be resolved in Pisces season, and they will drag you come hell or high water to get through it. And I promise you, this right here, this is worth it. The only way out is through, baby. I'm ready to clarify these cards. I hope to see you over on Patreon, patreon.com/JustJEverything. All the links are in the description box below. Come on, let's get into it. For the full version of the video, go to Patreon.